Welcome to The Explainer. You've probably heard the terms Buddha and Bodhisattva before, right? But what really separates them? Today, we're going to break down the true difference between these two incredible figures.
So let's just get right into it. What's the real difference here? Are they basically the same thing, or is a bodhisattva just, a Buddha in training? Well, the distinction is actually way more profound than you might think, and it reveals a whole lot about the different paths to enlightenment.
All right, so to really get this, we first need to be super clear on who or maybe what we're talking about. Let's introduce our two key players. First up, a Buddha. A Buddha is someone who has made it to the ultimate goal. They're called the awakened one because they've achieved total enlightenment, or nirvana, and have completely transcended the whole cycle of birth and death. Think of this as having reached the final destination. A bodhisattva, on the other hand, well, this is fascinating. They are totally qualified to reach that very same goal, to achieve nirvana. But they make a radical choice. Out of this unbelievable compassion for everyone else, they intentionally stay behind to help every other living being find their way to enlightenment first.
So here's a crucial point. Their very nature, what they fundamentally are, is different. And this difference really highlights the core distinction between them. It's not just about what they do, it's about their state of being.
Okay, so a Buddha is said to have a purely heavenly nature. They're completely free from human states, worldly concerns, all of it. But a bodhisattva embodies a perfected human nature. Yes, they're transcendent, but they're still relatable, still grounded in a nature that we can somehow recognize. Now, let's look at how that difference in their nature plays out in their actual mission. I mean, how do they engage with the world and with all of us? Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, because it's all about the action they take. A Buddhist focus is always on living beings, and their core action is to teach. They use their wisdom to act like a ferry, guiding people across to the shore of enlightenment. But a bodhisattva, they're down in the trenches. Their focus is on resolving our difficulties, literally saving us from danger. They're the ones who will sacrifice themselves for others. See the difference? One is the wise guide, the other is the heroic rescuer. This difference goes even deeper, all the way down to how they perceive reality itself. And this is especially true when it comes to the idea of form. You know, the concept of things being separate and distinct. This gets a little philosophical, but stick with me, it's key. For a Buddha, reality is completely formless. What does that mean? It means there's no separate me, no separate you, no sentient being as a distinct category. Even ideas like lifespan or the teachings themselves aren't separate things. It's a total dissolution of all boundaries into a state of oneness. So, if everything is formless, how can a bodhisattva still act in the world? Well, this quote gives us the perfect clue. They practice what's called formless giving. They perform acts of charity without any attachment. They don't think of themselves as the giver, or the thing they're giving as a gift, or the person receiving it as the receiver. They live and act in our world of sight and sound, but they aren't trapped by it. So, what does this all boil down to? When you strip away all the philosophy, it comes down to one single, incredibly powerful choice. A choice that defines everything. I love this analogy. It just makes it so clear. A Buddha has reached the destination. They've graduated, they've ascended, they're done. But a bodhisattva is like that incredible valedictorian who has aced every test, is totally ready to graduate, but makes the choice to stay behind. Why? To help tutor every single other student, making sure they can all graduate right alongside them.
And that really leaves us with a final thought to ponder. One being represents the ultimate peace you find at the destination. The other represents the ultimate compassion you find on the journey itself. The big takeaway here is that both paths are defined by incredible wisdom and a deep, profound concern for all beings. The real question isn't about which one is better, but about the beautiful tension between arrival and the compassionate choice to stay on the path.